Labrian Celestine?
Yes.
Mr. Celestine, in that case, you are charged with the third-degree felony offense of deadly conduct, discharging a firearm, from March 22nd of 2024. And how do you plead to that charge?
Guilty.
And do you understand, if I follow the agreement that you've made with the district attorney, that you'll be waiving or giving up any right to appeal?
Yes, ma'am.
And it looks like the agreement that you've reached is the same as what was in the other case that we're going to talk about today, which is a 7-year deferred probation, a $500 fine, and you would be required to follow all of the rules and conditions of probation. Is that your understanding?
Yes.
It's admitted. Is there any evidence that Mr. Celestine's not competent? All right, then I'm going to find that you entered your plea of guilty freely and voluntarily, find that you're mentally competent and you understand the nature and the consequences.
The courtroom was quiet, but the charge was anything but small. 19 years old standing before the bench accused of third-degree felony deadly conduct discharging a firearm like the rules didn't apply when the judge asked for his plea time seen to narrow into a single breath. This wasn't television drama, this was real life, and the next word out of his mouth would shape the next decade of it.
Consequences of that plea. So I have received in cause number 24, DCCR 1303, the pre-sentence report. You had already were here, entered a plea of guilty to deadly conduct, discharging a firearm in that case. Has everyone had an opportunity to review that pre-sentence report? And then I also received a number of letters of support for Mr. Celestine, and has everyone had an opportunity to review those as well?
Yeah.
Are there any additions or corrections to that pre-sentence report?
None for the defense.
And for the state judge, other than to respectfully request of the court that this obviously very young individual who's committed a first-degree felony right out of the gate be at the very least sentenced to ISF as a condition. I'm sorry, third degree.
2 third degrees. How old are you?
19.
19 years old. And you're shooting around.
Guilty, one word, no jury, no trial, no second-guessing the evidence, just a direct step into sentencing territory. And with that plea came something even heavier, waiving the right to appeal. Translation: once the judge signs off, there's almost no rewind button. That's not a small concession, that's a calculated risk usually made when the alternative could be far worse than the deal on the table.
Like it's the Wild West, aren't you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah? Something that I made a note of here, I went through all of these letters, and all of these letters of support about you talk about what a good kid you are, and that here's one I circled, and it says, well, LeBrian's a positive role model for his nephew. Do you think you're a positive role model for anyone at this point?
Not at this moment.
Not at this moment. Is that what you want him to grow up and do? And be in here shackled up like you are?
7 years deferred probation, a $500 fine, conditions that must be followed to the letter on paper. It might look like mercy, but deferred adjudication is a razor's edge. Stay clean, complete the terms, and the felony never brands your record. Slip up once and the full weight of the charge comes crashing down, up to 10 years in prison for each case. Freedom in this moment wasn't guaranteed, it was conditional.
What's all this? What's all these tattoos have to do with?
It's like tattoos.
Yeah?
Right.
Do you think getting that all over your neck is going to help you get a job, or do you think it's going to hurt you when you're trying to get a job? It would hurt you.
But what I'm doing right now, that's what I was planning on doing. But not just a still in court. It's like a family business. I planned on doing that.
Right? Do you think it makes people comfortable if you show up and look like that in their homes? And look, I have a tattoo. Do you see it? Is it all over here?
Then came the hard truths. The judge didn't shout, she didn't need to. She talked about role models, about letters calling him a good kid, about a nephew watching. She questioned the tattoos crawling up his neck, not to shame but to challenge. What happens if the family business falls through? What happens when first impressions decide whether a door opens or slams shut? These weren't insults, they were warnings dressed as questions.
What if that pool company falls through? What if you need another job? Right? You got to think about those things.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to do in each of your cases. I'm going to find that you entered your pleas of guilty freely and voluntarily. In each case, find sufficient evidence to find you guilty. However, in each case, in cause number 24, DCCR 1303, Defer all proceedings, place you on probation for a period of 7 years. That's the agreement that you made with the district attorney. I'm going to order you pay that $500 fine and follow all of the rules and conditions of probation, and I'm going to get to those rules and conditions in just a minute. I'm also going to find and question evidence to find you guilty. However, I'm also going to follow the agreement that you made with the district attorney. Defer all proceedings and place you on probation for 7 years. You're also ordered to pay a $500 fine in that case and follow all of the rules and conditions of probation. One of the conditions of probation in these cases, in each of them, is that you're going to enter and successfully complete the cognitive track of the ISF program. So that's a 90-day program that is in custody. So you're going to go from the jail to that program. And it is designed to help you make better decisions. All right? You need to take advantage of it. You're still young. Today's opportunity is an opportunity of a lifetime for you because you don't have a felony conviction on your record. There are people who will not let you go to your house, regardless of who you're working for, if you are a convicted felon. Do you understand? So even if it's a family business, you might not be able to work for that business if you have a felony conviction. So if you do everything that you're supposed to while you're on this probation, then you will, at the end of the probation, both of these cases will be dismissed, and you will never have a felony conviction on your record. The other side to that in each of these cases is if you violate the probation, you're right back here in court.
Then the structure of accountability locked in 90 days in custody for the cognitive track ASF program designed to rewire decision-making before it's too late. No firearms, not on his hip, not in his car, no in his home. Period. The message was clear. You fired a weapon recklessly once. You don't get another chance to test that line again, not without consequences that echo much louder next time.
And you could be sentenced to prison. Number one, be convicted, obviously, in both cases, and sent to prison for up to 10 years in each case. Do you understand? A condition of your probation in each of these cases also is that you are not allowed to have any type of firearm. Do you understand? Not on your person, not in your car, not at your home. Period. No firearm. Do you understand? I'm going to hand you the trial court certification in each of your cases that shows these were agreements that I followed, and so you've waived your right to appeal. Probation will go over some paperwork before they take you back today, and then you'll go to ISF hopefully very soon. When you get out, make sure you go straight to probation, do everything you're supposed to, otherwise you'll be going to prison.
In the end, this wasn't just a sentence, it was a fork in the road. Complete probation and both cases disappear like a storm that never fully formed. Violate it and the courtroom doors swing open again, this time toward prison at 19, walked out not as a convicted felon but balanced on the thinnest margin. The system offers an opportunity of a lifetime or the countdown to losing it.